Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Red Zone here at Hicksville High School, and it's wrestling on a Tuesday night. It's senior night.
First we have Jack Figgins, son of Pete and Christy Figgins.
And we're going to just...
Jack started wrestling in 5th grade. He enjoys welding, dirt bike riding, and hanging out with friends. When not at school or working, he enjoys spending time restoring his 1977 Ford Deadside. After high school, he plans to work and hopes to someday open a custom fabrication shop. The thing he likes most about wrestling is the competition. Wrestling has taught him about overcoming obstacles. Good luck to all the seniors tonight.
As I said, we're doing the senior night festivities here, so we're going to let Mr. Paul Overmeyer handle the announcing.
Son of Craig and Amanda Begley. Caleb has been wrestling for 10 years. His greatest accomplishments in the sport are being a grade school state qualifier and a district qualifier last year. His favorite wrestling moment was learning to ride legs at a clinic at the University of Michigan. He plans to go to college for electrical engineering or business. Next we have Roman Graber, son of Sam and Beth Graber. Roman has been wrestling for 5 years. His favorite memories of wrestling are those where he is behind and somehow gets a reversal and pins his opponent. Roman's future plans are to become a welder, build his 1978 F-350 into his dream truck, build his own house in the country, and live happily ever after. Finally, we have Nick Congleton, son of Beth Ann and Josh Congleton. Nick has been wrestling since he was 6 years old off and on, and this is his second year wrestling at the high school level. And he is truly grateful for the amazing coaches and staff that has taught him, as well as the friendships he has made along the way. He received his varsity letter in football as a freshman and sophomore, and his favorite sports moment was going 9-1 as the JV quarterback. Upon graduating this spring, he plans on attending LSU as a political science major and pursue a career in healthcare law. Nick says COVID-19 has seriously impacted many in the past year, and the only positive for me during this has been doing an accelerated class, which has allowed me to graduate 1 year early. He wants to wish his wrestling family good luck, and to his parents, thank you for supporting him and loving him unconditionally throughout these years. Nick Compton.
And there you have the senior night festivities here from this. It's going to be a quad meet tonight at the Red Zone. Hi, everybody. I'm Bill Murphy with Hicksville Community Television. Glad to have you with us here on the HIX-TV YouTube channel for this live stream coverage of wrestling from here at Hicksville High School tonight. I'm going to let you know that this is, again, a four-way meet. The Aces are hosting Edgerton, Antwerp, and Patrick Henry. So as you can see, we've got two mats set up.
Tonight, the Antwerp Archers, Edgerton Bulldogs, and Patrick Henry Patriots will take on our own Hicksville Aces. The Board of Education Superintendent and Athletic Council of Hicksville High School extend to each of you a cordial welcome to tonight's wrestling match. All the schools are members of the Ohio High School Athletic Association and abide by the high standards of conduct and sportsmanship required during athletic competition. Ladies and gentlemen, we live in a great country with freedoms like no other. In order to honor America and in respect for all who have served and who are currently serving to defend our freedoms, please stand and join in the singing of our national anthem. cover short. Their experience and integrity qualify them for their important part in this friendly interscholastic wrestling match. The order of wrestling for tonight will be, in the first round, Hicksville versus Antwerp and Edgerton versus Patrick Henry. In the second round, Hicksville versus Edgerton and Antwerp versus Patrick Henry. And finally, in the third round, Hicksville versus Patrick Henry and Antwerp versus Edgerton.
So there you have the order in which the wrestling is going to be going on. As you can see, there are two mats set up, mat 1 and mat 2. Now, our coverage tonight is actually going to be, we're live streaming on both the Hicksville Community Television Facebook page and also here on the HIX-TV YouTube channel. Over on the Facebook page, Brian Williams is running the iPad Pro camera, and that will be mat number 1, and that will be the Patrick Henry Edgerton matchup to start things off with. And we here on the YouTube channel will be covering mat number 2, myself and Chris Warner, which will be Hicksville taking on Antwerp first off. So we will be covering the action tonight on mat 1 on the Facebook channel, on Hicksville Community Television's Facebook page. And all the coverage and all the action on mat 2 will be right here on the HIX-TV YouTube channel. Now, our understanding is that Hicksville will wrestle all 3 of their sessions on mat 2. So if you just want to watch the Hicksville wrestlers, then you can just probably keep it right here on the HIX-TV YouTube channel. If you're watching us following Patrick Henry, Edgerton, or Antwerp, you may need to flip back and forth between the Facebook page and the YouTube channel. And again, on the Facebook channel, they've all the information, the links are all right there as well as here on YouTube. So again, if you're watching on YouTube but you want to watch the other mats action, then go to Facebook and go to the Hicksville Community Television Facebook page for that live stream. So again, mat number 1, live streaming on Facebook tonight, and mat number 2, live streaming here on the HIX-TV YouTube channel. Now, the other thing we want to let you know is that because of the coronavirus, they don't put together the programs like they normally do because they want to cut back on the printing costs since they don't have a lot of people here. The crowd is very, very limited, and also they have to, disinfect all those things when they get them print. So we do not have a list of names or the weight classes or whatever. So we will just sort of be tuning into the match. We'll try to follow it as best as Chris can operate the camera while he's stuffing a hot dog in his face. Yeah, he's smiling, going, yep, that's what I'm doing. But we are underway. And this, again, will be session number 1 with Hicksville wrestling Antwerp. They wrestle 3, I guess we'd call periods or 3 sessions at each weight class. This first one is 2 minutes long. And right now, Antwerp leading 2-0 in the meet. I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know a whole lot about wrestling, so I will just try to keep you updated with the flow of the action. On the Facebook page, Brian Williams. Brian knows a lot about wrestling. Brian was an outstanding wrestler when he was in high school, so he will probably be able to keep you updated better than I can on the scoring and the moves and so forth. And trying to roll him over, not able to do it. That'll be a three-point takedown for Antwerp to put the Archers in the lead here 5-0. Well, he rolls him over. He might be going for the pin. He's got the shoulder blade up. The official down. I'm going to try to pull him down. Going for the pin here in round 1, 20 seconds left. And the Aces wrestler managing to get out of trouble for a little while, but now he's back into trouble again. 13 seconds. We'll see if he can hold on. He manages to get that other shoulder up. It'll be 3 more points for Antwerp. 8-0 now. And that'll be it for round 1, with the Antwerp wrestler up 10-0. Now, our original plan had been that Brian and I were going to be doing the Hicksville coverage, and we were going to have another crew. I had 2 more people lined up who were experts at wrestling that were going to be doing the other mat's coverage, so we would have a little more informative announcing. But unfortunately, my other crew both came down with, they don't have coronavirus or anything like that, but the other crew are both under the weather with either cold or flu. Not sure what, but they do know that it is not coronavirus, so none of us have been incidentally exposed. But they were not able to be here tonight, so we had to sort of reshuffle at the last minute. And we're going to, again, do the best that we can. We're a minute 30 left in the second session here, the second round. And again, the Aces wrestler in a little bit of trouble as they're working to get him pinned. He's down 13-0. And they pin him. Antwerp pins the Hicksville wrestler with 1:11 to go in the second period. So that'll be a win for the Archers with a pin with 1:11 in the second. So now a little bit of confusion. They called out the next weight class, and the Edgerton wrestler for that week came up, and they were like, wait, you're on the wrong mat. So we'll get ready for the next weight class. We have also been told that for this first session with Hicksville Wrestling Antwerp, they're going to be doing the varsity first. That'll be followed then by the JV wrestling, and then that'll be a forfeit, so Antwerp wins that one. And then they will do the junior high wrestlers. So it'll be varsity, JV, junior high in each one of the 3 sessions. And another forfeit there. And that one goes to Hicksville. So overall, it's Archers 12 and the Aces 6. And now it'll be tied at 12 with a second forfeit. And depending on how things go, again, we may be ending the live stream and taking a bit of a break between the sessions, depending on how quickly they go. Again, if this mat wraps up really quickly, but they're still wrestling on the other mat, we'll probably end the live stream and try to give you some idea of when we'll be back. But because you were sort of playing it by ear, our first wrestling coverage of the year here on HIX-TV. Glad to have you with us. Underway again, it's the Aces wrestling the Antwerp Archers right now. This is first round action, 1:47 to go. Again, the first round, each round is 2 minutes long. In the first round, the wrestlers start standing upright in kind of a neutral position, and then they'll have a man up and a man down for round 2 and round 3. Rolling him over, and he manages to get away. Be careful there, and now he's got him again. And a pin. So Hicksville pins the Antwerp wrestler at 1:19 in the first. And overall, the Aces now up 18-12 in the match. Again, glad to have you with us. Hope that you've had a good, long holiday weekend. Enjoyed the extra day. It looks like this is going to be another Aces win with the forfeit. And at the next weight class, again, this is the first time in a while that the Aces have actually had a pretty full squad with all the weight classes filled for their wrestlers. And so I'm not sure if that wraps up the varsity, and we're getting ready for JV. No, there'll be varsity. You are wrong, Christopher. It'll be varsity, followed by JV, followed by junior high. Well, they may not have any JV wrestlers. So we'll move on to the younger wrestlers now. Again, you'll have to forgive us if we're a little bit imprecise because, again, we do not have a program and we don't have a listing of who is wrestling in what weight class. We don't have names. We don't have weights. So we're here and we're filling in as best we can, and at least we are providing you with, you can at least see the mates. You can see the wrestling matches. This will be the only home wrestling match for the Aces this season. They've got a couple more coming up with they're going down to the Thunderbird in Lima, and I think at the Chuck Forward duels in Archbold will be the last two before they go to sectionals. So here we go as we're down now. Christopher thinks it's the junior high level. And going for the pin here. Aces wrestler trying to avoid getting both those shoulders down. And 3 points. For the younger wrestlers, it's only 1:30 per round. As again, the Antwerp wrestler leading this particular match 5-0, 29 seconds and counting. Going for the takedown. And again, the bump girl heading out. They have these little bumpers that they bump the officials on when time expires. So that's the end of round one with the Aces wrestler trailing 7-1. Get ready for round two. Again, 1:30 in duration. They flip a colored disc. One wrestler is green and one is red, and you'll notice the officials have a green and a red band on their arms, on their wrists. And in the second round, they flip a coin, or they flip the disc, and one goes up, one goes down. And when a wrestler scores, then they hold up, the official will hold up whichever arm has that red color band on it. In this case, the Antwerp wrestler is green, and he held up his hand with the green wristband with a 2, so that's 2 points, and then a pin. So the Aces wrestler pinned at 1:01 in the second period. And then we'll see if that is all for this first session for the Aces. As wrestling continues on mat number one. And again, Brian Williams is on the Hicksville Community Television Facebook page with live stream coverage of what is happening on mat number one. Well, we got a break here. Christopher can pan over to mat number one. We'll show you that again. That's Patrick Henry is wrestling Edgerton over there right now. As it appears, this first session for the Aces against Antwerp is over. So we'll pan over to the other mat for a little bit here. Again, we want to say congratulations to the 4 seniors on the Hicksville wrestling team. As we mentioned earlier, this is the only home match that Hicksville has this year. So it was automatically senior night. So the 4 seniors getting some well-deserved recognition. As again, the Aces are in the midst of a rebuilding program for their wrestling. And made some good strides this year. Had a lot of youngsters come out and express interest in being on the wrestling team. And again, pretty much a full squad from what we understand for the first time in a while with the Hicksville Wrestlers. 4 seniors wrapping up their career this year. And again, looks like things well underway and on a good track for Aces Wrestling. As you can probably tell, too, this match, or this wrestling meet here at Hicksville is a little bit of a departure from the norm. Obviously, usually there's a lot of people here for the wrestling, and it's kind of crowded around the mats. It's a lot of activity, but that has been scaled back tremendously because of the COVID-19 situation. Again, just limited the number of people allowed to be in the stands. And over here on the press side where we are, the only people that they allow to sit on this side of the gym now are the members of the wrestling team, the athletes themselves, trainers, coaches, officials, and selected members of the media, which is why we always like to throw out a big thank you to Mr. Hott and Overmeyer, the co-athletic directors, for giving us the space and allowing us to be able to live stream the athletic events. And as we have another little bit of a break here, this will be another good time as well for me to say a huge thank you to our wrestling underwriters. Wrestling coverage on HIX-TV, on the YouTube channel, on the Facebook page, brought to you by the Jim Schmidt family of automotive dealerships in Hicksville, Ohio. Jim Schmidt Chevrolet Buick, Jim Schmidt Ford, and online at jimschmidtauto.com. Now remember, if you are in the market for a vehicle, whether you want one that is brand new or pre-owned, be it a car, truck, van, or SUV, you can stop by and check out the great selection they have on the lots at the Jim Schmidt family of automotive dealerships in Hicksville, Ohio. Don't see what you're looking for? Let the folks at Jim Schmidt know what you're interested in, because they always do their very best to find you exactly the car that you are looking for. It is all about service before, during, and after the sale at the Jim Schmidt family of automotive dealerships in Hicksville, Ohio. Jim Schmidt Chevrolet Buick, Jim Schmidt Ford, and online at jimschmidtauto.com. So proud to have them underwriting our Aces wrestling coverage here on HIX-TV. And again, we are at a bit of a break, so we'll invite you to stick around, because we will be back, and obviously Chris and I will continue our coverage of the Aces meet here, Hicksville Wrestling. And you are watching wrestling coverage right here on HIX-TV. Now, we're not going to end the live stream, but that's just because we'll be editing this down for broadcast on Mediacom Channel 12. And we always post edited broadcast versions on video on demand here on the YouTube channel. So, yep. Yeah, that way we can put as Chris said, that we can put the cool action movie music in the background, just as long as it's not licensed. Or if it is licensed, do we have approval to use it? Got to pay those ASCAP fees. And again, over on the other mat, they're down to the, I don't know if this is JV or junior high level, but it looks like they're down to their last few wrestlers, and then they will take about a 4 or 5 minute break, during which I'm going to be going over to where Brian is broadcasting so that I can recognize our underwriters over on the Facebook channel. And then we'll be back, and we'll get ready for round 2. as things are moving along fairly quickly here at a pretty good pace. There were some that were worried that we might be here for a long time, but it seems like things are moving along at a pretty good clip. And again, we're very glad to have you here with us. Hey, don't forget, tomorrow on Wednesday, we're going to do as we usually do. We have our live stream update on what's happening here at Hicksville Community Television. So that will be coming your way tomorrow at about somewhere usually between 3:30 and 4 o'clock. We try to do an update on each of our streaming platforms to let you know what's going on. I'm going to try to work out the logistics and be able to cover some junior high boys basketball on Thursday. So there's, I think, junior high boys basketball scheduled for starting at 5 o'clock on Thursday. And I'm not sure if I will be able to be there right away, so maybe talking with Brian and Christopher about covering those games. And then Friday, believe it or not, on Friday we're back here in the gym for boys basketball action. That's the first time since January 2nd that we've had boys basketball here at the Red Zone. As I think it's Tenora that the Aces are going to be taking on Friday night. Junior varsity and varsity action. And we'll fill you in on all the details during our Wednesday live streams tomorrow. Unless we get like a massive snowstorm or something else happens to prevent us from being here. But we're not anticipating that. And again, these are the younger players, so each round is only 1 minute 30 seconds. Varsity is 2 minutes. Looking to do the escape. One point for the escape. And there's the pin. And I think that might be the final matchup for Patrick Henry and Edgerton. And if that is the case, then we'll get ready. We'll take a bit of a break, and then we will get ready for the second rotation, which on mat 2, which we are covering, will be Hicksville and Edgerton, while Antwerp and Patrick Henry will be wrestling on mat number 1. And again, mat number 1 will be on the Facebook page. Ryan's over there doing a good job.
We need to take a break until 6:45, and then we'll start the second round.
All right, so we are going to take a break, and we will be back with you. We'll resume our live stream at about 6:45 in about 15 minutes from right now. I'm going to step over and do some quick sponsor mentions and fill everybody in what's happening on Facebook. But again, thanks for joining us. Stay with us. And again, we'll be back in about 15 minutes with round 2 right here on the HIX-TV YouTube.